What's happening, gamers? It's KMEGA 405 live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. And before I get started on this video, I wanted to give a big shout out to CD Keys. In the links in the description, go ahead and you click on there, and if you decide that you want to buy something from CD Keys, you get a discount. So big shout out to them. And if you're not familiar with CD Keys, they sell PlayStation 4 games, Xbox One games, PSN cards, Xbox Live cards, plus also PC games. So go ahead and give it a try. So I was having a conversation on Xbox Live last night, and it was regarding sequels. And basically I heard the same thing that I think a lot of Xbox fans have heard or expect, that there will be no sequels from Sunset Overdrive, Rise, Quantum Break, etc. Right? And I just asked one simple question, like, why wouldn't Microsoft do it? Why wouldn't they? And it really wasn't too much to be said, except that, well, they don't own the IP. And listen, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody actually knows what Microsoft is doing or planning right now at this point, because they kind of shut down shop. And I think that we all know why they've turned into this method of wanting to kind of be dormant, is because of what happened to Scalebound. But so regardless of whatever camp that you're on, if you believe that these games will not come back, and these games that I'm talking about is Rise, Quantum Break, and Sunset Overdrive, it would still benefit Microsoft to bring these sequels back. Because at the end of the day, there's more positives for these games to come back as sequels than for these games to be dormant. One, rewrite the Xbox One's history. Basically, when you had these games come out, Xbox One was in a very unpopular state. And even though these games sold over 1 million, all three of them did, the fact of it is that still people look at it like those games didn't really do well, or those games were not as good as PlayStation 4 games, which these games were all good in their own right. So it would benefit for those games to make a return in a time where Xbox is bringing back its popularity. Two, killing the naysayers' voice. That is one thing that I think that would benefit it more than anything, because of the naysayers that says Xbox has no games, which we know that's not true, and then the other naysayers that's saying that the Xbox brand is in trouble, Microsoft is going to give them the boot eventually, which, if you think logically, that makes no damn sense whatsoever, because we're talking about video games, which is one of the biggest entertainments in the world, generating billions of dollars. And while Microsoft already has a platform with the Xbox, why would they want to cut out gaining billions like they have been because they wanted to cut back on costs? Really makes no sense. A third reason is because Xbox needs more sequels that is not Halo, Forza, or Gears. Now, as much as I love Halo, Forza, and Gears, I kind of want these other games to kind of set the tone for what the Xbox One can provide for their customers. And also, if you bring these 3 sequels back, you give more to the portfolio, and especially for the Xbox One is very lacking with hack and slash games. Rise is that game. Also, RPGs is kind of scarce as well on the Xbox One. So yeah, I would love to see a Lost Odyssey or a Blue Dragon. But if you do bring Blue Dragon, it's great to have an RPG. But the other thing for the naysayers, and I would even have to agree, that that's a game that's going to be cel shaded or have that cartoon look, and you need more games that look photorealistic, that looks as good as Quantum Break and looks as good as Rise, because to this day those games hold up. Rise launch title is still one of the best looking games that you could ever gaze on, and looking at it in 4K, oh my goodness. And could you imagine all 3 of these games, especially with Sunset Overdrive, the way that the colors just come at you and just pops, and then its creativity in 4K HDR. Can you imagine all 3 of these games, what they would look like as a sequel, and they could look better or will look better? It would be insane. That's why I think that Microsoft has the perfect opportunity to now kind of get rid of the ghost of 2013 and bring back these games. I don't want to hear anything about money when we know that Microsoft is one of the richest companies in the world. That would be very disappointing to me as a person that is a true Xbox fan. And after hearing that pretty much there's going to be a Record 2, which I'm happy with that. And the situation with Halo Wars. Now, Halo Wars 2 supposedly didn't do very well with sales, but again, that game was really cool. It has the best villain this generation, hands down. I played a lot of games, and I have not seen a villain that cool in a while. And so you would think that there would be a Halo Wars 3. And with the cinematics of that game, it's definitely going to cost a lot of money. So if they would bring back Halo Wars 3, or Halo Wars, and they would bring back ReCore, then I just don't see why you would leave out all 3 of these games, or at least 2 of the 3 games. It would just be disheartening, because you're just kind of saying that I'm getting rid of everything that was 2013, and Rise was that special game. Now again, like I said, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen, and I do feel that Microsoft is listening to the people, and Sunset Overdrive and Rise can definitely come back. Quantum Break, who knows? After hearing what Sharon Loftus said, it brings me a lot of hope. I'm happy about that, and I would hope that they will look into this and bring these games back, because they do need proper sequels. Get those second chances that they need. Now again, if Crytek is acting weird, or if Remedy is acting strange, then definitely understand, but I really just don't see Remedy turning down to not make another sequel. And especially, that's 2 heavy hitters, because if Alan Wake comes out and then you bring a sequel to Quantum Break, that's a crazy 1-2 punch. And again, with Insomniac, and as you see that Spider-Man is probably going to be a huge success for the PlayStation, Xbox needs that type of game like Sunset Overdrive. I mean, not everything should be multi-plat kumbaya, and with the potential of a game like Sunset Overdrive to have that online component, make it a play anywhere title, be strong. I just really think that it would really be strong. And then also, Rise and Quantum Break both can have some multiplayer aspects. Rise already has an online multiplayer. You just enhance that. And I think what hurt Quantum Break was that there was no DLC. Some people was wanting some kind of online capability. With Quantum Break 2, you could definitely have DLC, enhance that story. The sky's the limit for all these games. But if you only had 1 or 2 of these games, which ones would you pick? I see all 3 of these games having great futures, and I hope that the Xbox staff is going to let them come back. Peace.